You probably trust your Xbox controller. It's a solid workhorse, right? But what if I told you its biggest flaw isn't about fancy new features, but something far more basic and, frankly, baffling? You know your Xbox controller. It's like that reliable friend you can always count on. It doesn't scream for attention, it just quietly gets the job done. Think of it like your favorite, well-worn pair of jeans or a perfectly balanced cup of coffee. Dependable, unassuming, always there. Now, we know the PlayStation 5's DualSense controller brings all sorts of next-gen features to the table: adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, a touchpad. But honestly, for many of us, those aren't deal breakers for the Xbox experience. What does drive me absolutely wild, however, is something far more fundamental. We don't need haptics. We just need a built-in battery that actually works. Microsoft, for reasons that frankly baffle me, ships its standard controllers with good old-fashioned AA batteries. If you want a rechargeable option, you need to shell out extra for their Play and Charge kit. And here's where the frustration truly begins. Sometimes that battery pack charges completely in minutes. Other times, you plug it in for 8 hours, and it barely gives you 5 minutes of gameplay. It's incredibly inconsistent. Now, you might think, maybe you just got a faulty one. And sure, that's possible. But a quick dive into online forums tells me I am far from alone in this charging saga. There's also this widespread confusion about which battery pack is even the best, Microsoft's own or one of the seemingly hundreds of third-party options clogging up the market. It really makes you scratch your head. Microsoft's own Elite Series 2 controller does have an internal, rechargeable battery, but that's a premium device with a hefty price tag. For their standard controller, it feels like they've simply left a core piece of the puzzle out, only to sell it back to us, often broken. It's like buying a brand new car, only to find you need to purchase a separate, unreliable gas tank just to make it go. It adds stress, but absolutely no value. And here's the kicker. Even Sony and Nintendo, companies that arguably re-release the same games at full price year after year, aren't this audacious. Their controllers, like the DualSense or the Switch Pro controller, come with integrated batteries. You don't buy a PlayStation controller and then have to scrounge for AA batteries or an unreliable separate charging pack. Why is Microsoft, a titan of the tech world, creating such an unnecessary hurdle for its users? Of course, alternatives exist. You can stick with regular AA batteries, but frankly, from an environmental standpoint alone, we should be well past that. And then there are those clunky, unsightly plastic chargers for rechargeable AAs that you have to jam into your power outlets. Neither option feels like a modern solution. The answer to this problem seems so incredibly obvious, so straightforward, that Microsoft's current stance paints a really poor picture. It's not just a minor inconvenience. It feels like a fundamental misstep in user experience. It turns that reliable, comfortable controller into something, well, a little bit like a moldy cheese sandwich or a glass of battery acid at room temperature. Not quite what you signed up for. So, this leaves us wondering, why hasn't Microsoft fixed this glaring issue? Is it simply a profit motive or a genuine oversight? It's a decision that detracts from an otherwise excellent piece of hardware. What do you think? Does this controller battery issue bother you as much as it bothers us? Or is it a minor inconvenience you've learned to live with? We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this discussion, please hit that subscribe button and share it with your fellow gamers. Until next time.